I want to talk about the kind that lives in the chest of a woman who has finally decided that she is done being small, the kind that does not require anyone's permission and cannot be taken away by anyone's opinion. The kind that, once you find it, you realize it was always yours, and the only thing standing between you and it was the story you inherited about what a woman like you is supposed to need and want and settle for.
Hi there, I'm Dr. Rolanda Fabien, wife, mom, educator, veteran, wellness enthusiast, and I'm also the proud founder of Bright Idea Consulting. I'm passionate about helping you thrive, prioritizing your well-being, achieving your breakthroughs, and unlocking your personal potential. Here, we dive into practical tips, inspiring conversations, and transformative strategies to help you navigate life's challenges with confidence and grace. Whether you're looking to strengthen your relationships, practice better self-care, or find balance amidst the chaos, you are in the right place. So if you're ready to grow and create the life you always dreamed about, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Now let's dive into today's episode and start building your brighter tomorrow today.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Dr. Rolanda's Bright Ideas, the podcast. I'm Dr. Rolanda, and if this is your first time here, welcome. I'm so glad you found this. And if you've been here before, welcome back. Now, let's get into today's discussion. I believe in this time of year with everything in me. I know it is complicated. I know the history is layered and the politics are loud, and celebrations can feel hollow when the work is not done and the gap between the promise and the reality is still wide enough to hurt. I hold all of that, and I also hold this. There is something in the air during this season that I will not let anyone take from me. A frequency, a reminder, a collective exhale from every woman who has ever been told she was not enough and chose to live like she was anyway. That energy is real. I feel it every year, and this year I am bringing it straight to you because here is what I have come to know about liberation. After years of studying it from the inside out, liberation is not something that happens to you once and then stays. It is something you choose over and over, in the small moments and the big ones, in the meeting where you almost made yourself invisible and then decided not to, in the mirror on a Tuesday morning where you looked at yourself and instead of cataloging what is wrong, you said something kind. In the moment you got a compliment, and for the first time in recent memory, you did not immediately redirect it, or shrink it, or hand it back. Liberation is a practice, and the practice begins with celebration. I know that might sound like I am connecting two things that do not belong together: liberation and celebration. One feels weighty and historical and serious, and the other feels like it belongs at a party. But I want you to stay with me because I think this is one of the most important things I will ever say to you. The women who built the freedom that many of us now stand in did not just fight for the right to survive. They fought for the right to thrive. They fought for the right to rest. They fought for the right to be seen and known and celebrated, not despite who they were, but because of it. And when a woman who comes from that lineage refuses to celebrate herself, she is not being humble. She is leaving undone the very thing those women bled to make possible. You were not liberated so you could be excellent for everyone else and invisible to yourself. You were not liberated so you could check every box and hit every metric and hold everything together while quietly running on whatever is left over after everyone else has taken their portion. You were not liberated so you could spend your life waiting for the moment when you have finally done enough to deserve your own acknowledgement. That is not liberation. That is just a more sophisticated version of the same chain. And you are done with chains. I know you. I know what it is like to be the most accomplished woman in the room and still feel like a fraud. I know what it is like to have built something genuinely extraordinary and still be scanning for the thing that is wrong with it before anyone else can find it first. I want to talk to you about freedom today, not the kind that gets declared from a stage or printed on a banner or talked about in the news cycle where it gets complicated, before you can even hold it.
Hey there, sorry to interrupt, but I just want to know if you're enjoying the show so far. If you are, this is the perfect time to hit the subscribe button and turn on your notifications. By subscribing, you'll never miss out on the practical tips and inspiring conversations and our proven strategies where we're showing you how to prioritize yourself, strengthen your relationships, and thrive in every area of your life. Did you know that most of our listeners say these episodes have given them the clarity and tools that they needed to start making real changes? So don't miss out. Subscribe now and stay connected to the community that's all about helping you grow and glow. All right, now let's get back to the show.
I know what it is like to be celebrated by everyone around you and to stand in the center of that celebration, feeling like it belongs to a version of you that is not quite real because the real version never got the same reception. I know because I was her. And I want to tell you what I learned from the other side of that. I learned that the celebration was never going to come from the outside and fix what was broken on the inside. I learned that no promotion was going to give me the permission I was waiting for. No acknowledgement from the right person in the right room was going to finally make me feel like I had arrived. Because the arrival was always an inside job. The freedom was always an inside job. And the moment I stopped waiting for someone else to celebrate me and started doing it myself, something shifted that I have never been able to fully undo. Something came alive. Something that had been very quietly dying for a very long time finally got air. That is what I want for you. I want you to feel what it is like to stop waiting. I want you to experience the specific electricity of a woman who has decided that she is the occasion, and the occasion is now. Not when she loses the weight or gets the promotion or finishes the degree, or figures out the relationship or finally has a week where everything goes right. Now, today, in this body, in this season, with this specific accumulation of everything she has survived and built and chosen and become. She is extraordinary right now, and the most liberating thing she can do is act like it. Celebration is not vanity. I need you to hear that clearly because I know some of you were taught that it was. Celebration is not arrogance, and it is not ingratitude, and it is not counting your blessings out loud in a way that makes other people uncomfortable. Real celebration is the act of looking at yourself with the same generosity you extend to everyone you love and saying, I see you, I see what you did, I see what it cost, I see who you had to become to get here, and I think she is worth knowing. That is not vanity, that is healing. That is the inner work that makes everything else possible. That is how a woman stops performing her life and starts actually living it. And here is the thing about a woman who has genuinely learned to celebrate herself. She stops shrinking in rooms that were not designed for her. She stops apologizing for the space she takes up. She stops making herself digestible for people who were never going to be able to hold her anyway. She starts making decisions from her values instead of her fear. She starts receiving what she has actually worked for instead of deflecting it back to everyone else. She starts building from abundance instead of from the chronic low-grade anxiety of a woman who does not believe she is allowed to rest until everything is done and everything is never done. She becomes free, actually free, in her body and her spirit and her mind and her emotions, free in all four realms. This is the season for it. Whatever freedom means to you historically, culturally, spiritually, personally, this is the season when the air reminds you that liberation is real and it is possible, and women before you claimed it under conditions far harder than the ones you are facing right now. You owe it to them to claim your version of it. You owe it to the women who will come after you to model what a free woman looks like from the inside out. And you owe it to yourself because you have been waiting long enough. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to come into the Wealth Wake Up Masterclass, not because you are broken and need to be fixed, not because something is wrong with you, but because you are ready to map exactly where your freedom is being blocked across all four realms of your life, ready to build the daily practice of a woman who celebrates herself not as an occasional event, but as a way of being. Ready to stop waiting for permission and start living in the liberation that was always yours. The door is at mc.brightIdeaco.com, and I will be there waiting. Liberation is not a destination you arrive at once and then you are done. It is a daily decision to live like you are free even before the evidence fully catches up. It is the practice of celebrating yourself in the small moments and the big ones and the ordinary Tuesday ones that nobody sees. It is the radical act of a woman who has decided that her life is worth showing up for fully right now as she is. That is the message of this season. That is the heartbeat of everything we do at Inner Realm WELLth, and that is what I am holding out to you today with both hands. She celebrated herself free, and that woman is you. Be blessed, and see you in the next episode.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed the show and found something inspiring to take with you on your wellness journey. If you're ready to dive deeper and kickstart your journey into well-being, access all of our tools on our link tree at linktr.ee/BrightIdeaCo. Take our free wealth assessment to get started on the right path, and don't forget to check out our store at brightideaco.store, where you'll find a curated list of our tools and resources to support your personal growth in your journey. You'll find these links in the description and in the show notes. Before you go, be sure to hit subscribe and also tap the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when we release new episodes. Well, I can hardly wait to see you next time. Meanwhile, take care of yourself and keep shining bright.